Reid, welcome to the Players Perspective Uncensored podcast, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. Fern
Thank you for
Creek's
having me.
finest,
Thank you for
UofL
having
Hall
me.
of Famer. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just recently married too. Congratulations on that
Yeah,
too.
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
nice. A lot of things happening for you, man. A lot of things happening for you. How's everything been going?
Everything's been going good. It's been a little bit of a transition from playing to coaching, but I'm really loving it and I'm loving where I'm at. And I'm really happy with my decision to start coaching.
Nice. Now, the first thing we always ask our guests is, do you like or have you ever tried bourbon? And if so, what's a go-to or what's one that you like?
Yeah, I've tried bourbon. I've tried the Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I was gifted
Huh?
that at my Hall of Fame. So shout out to Russ. I'm gonna have to go with his just because that's the homie.
Got you. All right. Now let's start with young Reid. What got you into playing basketball?
Honestly, it was my mom. I remember she took me to the park and these guys asked her to play. And I was shocked because at the time, at 5 years old, I never even seen a girl play basketball before. So when I got there, she was scoring and she did a little something. Like as soon as I got home, I told my dad, I was like, hey, I want to play basketball. And that day we went to Walmart, he got me a rim and he's like, let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's dope, man. That's dope. So as you started to play, man, did you see somebody's game that you liked or somebody that you want to emulate yourself after? Who was somebody that inspired you or inspired your game when you was growing up?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people really inspired my favorite UofL players of all time, Sarah Nord. Now we don't play the same position, but I love the way she shot the ball. I love the way she passed, and I really looked up to a lot of the UofL girls because I grew up a ball kid. So those were my first role models, all the UofL girls.
Nice. It kind of sounds like me. I kind of watched a lot of U of L guys, man, and kind of wanted to emulate a lot of the things that they did. And that's
Hmm.
just kind of natural for us growing up in the city of Louisville and how big ball is and the university is. So
Hmm.
that's just kind of natural. So you went on, you had a wonderful career. You started to develop a great game. You had an outstanding career at Fern Creek. So when you're at Fern Creek, it's your senior year. Who's starting to recruit Reid? Who's showing interest and who's offering you scholarships besides U of L where you ended up?
Well, I had cut it down to Arkansas, Miami, and Middle Tennessee, and I actually took a visit to Middle Tennessee and Miami before I finished at Louisville. But it's just something about being home, like just growing up, seeing all the people, and then like my family being diehard fans. But I did give other people chances, but I just knew where I wanted to be.
Nice. Now,
Kentucky reached out, but my dad was not having it.
now, if you didn't go to Louisville, would you think you went to Middle Tennessee or you would have gave somebody else a shot?
I would have went to Middle Tennessee for sure. I mean, Allison Clark was an excellent recruiter. They had everything, but wasn't home for me. And I just thought it was a really good program, and it fit my style of play. And I just, I really like the coaches there, and it's good that you can always make those connections. And a lot of kids should now because the way the portal is, you never know who you can get the next year. So
Right.
like that was a big thing for me, making relationships and making connections. And I'm still in connections with the recruiting coach, Allison Clark. She's at Tennessee Tech, and that's what it's all about.
So once you got to Louisville, you playing for Coach Jeff Walls. What was the biggest adjustment for you? What was it like going from high school to college, transitioning to that game? What was it like for you? Some of the adjustments you had to make on the court and to Coach Walls.
Well, one of the biggest things was the speed. And I think Kentucky basketball, we really feel a lot of the kids with the no shot clock rule. You
Yeah,
know,
I
like
agree. I
that
agree.
needs to be in the game. That's going to help kids develop their game, make them play faster, and get ready for college. Now, I know not every kid will go to college, but that would create more opportunities for the kids that will. And and then the strength too, because like I'm used to being the best player on my team, and then now everybody's the best player from their team. So it's like you got to outwork people, you got to learn the ropes. And I mean, I had good leaders: Candace Bingham, Angel McCoughtry, Shantice Wright. Like I had a lot of good people support me and help me.
Good. Now, as you know, playing internationally, we'll get to later. And myself, you see young kids internationally, they grow up from the time they start playing ball to professionally, they're playing with a shot clock from youth leagues on through professional. So I think that kind of gives them an advantage of what you're talking about, where our youth, they're not used to playing at that certain pace and not used to having to being able to read the game at a quicker speed and adjusting and being able to transition that into college where some of the European guys that come over, they've already been playing that way so long, it's easier for them to make reads. And so it's a
Yeah.
quicker adjustment for them going into the college game. I was just watching Kentucky play the other day, and the big kid stepped right in and didn't miss a beat, man.
And
I
you
can't
know
think of
what?
his
And
name.
that's how it is with, I'm telling you, these foreign kids, they're ready. And that's why I think a lot of college coaches take advantage of that as well. They go out and look for those kids because they're playing with men, or grown women from the time they're, 14 years old. There's been plenty of times where I've been on a team with a 14-year-old. So like that's gonna make them better. And I think that's why they're ready as soon as they come over here. But yeah, he's a beast. He came out killing. It was just like nothing to him.
Right.
Yeah.
What's Coach Walls like off the court? What's Coach Walls like?
He's a funny guy, actually. He's really funny. He's pretty cool. It's just like you don't expect that because of how demanding he is with the basketball. But he's actually a pretty cool guy, and he's always willing to give advice and help everybody. I mean, there's still times like when I just first got this job where I went to his office and asked for advice. So he's a really cool guy, and he's helped guide me a lot off the court.
Nice. Now, give me the moment in college where it clicked for you and you like, I got it. It's time to hit the button and take off. Like for me, it wasn't even something that happened on the court. It was a conversation that I had with my coach. Like we sat down, had a heart to heart conversation, and like certain words came out, and I just kind of felt like kind of gave me the green light, and it just meant the world for my confidence. So what was it? What moment was it for you that it hit the switch and it's kind of like, okay, I'm ready to take off from here? What was that moment for you?
I think it would have to be the second part of the season, like going into conference, because I started to start.
What
So
year?
I had my freshman year.
Okay.
So I had started to see, the hard work and the effort translate into the game. And just having a conversation with Jeff and Michelle Clark Hurd and Coach Ord at the time, they were my assistant coaches. They're Coach Hurd's at Mississippi State right now, and Coach Ord's at Binghamton Young. So just talking with them and telling me like, hey, Angel's going to leave next year. You got to be that person. So like that's one thing that really like, hey, like I can't just be the role player. Like I got to step outside myself and become a gamer. And I
Right.
think that really helped me. And I think like my freshman year, getting that experience and playing in the Final Four and the championship as a freshman, like I really think that helped elevate my game, taking off into my sophomore year.
Nice. Now you had a Hall of Fame career. You're top 10 in points, rebounds, field goals made, free throws made, and probably a bunch of other statistical categories at the University of Louisville. When you look back on such a profound career, what's something that makes you most proud when you look back at the career you had?
I mean, honestly, it was just like helping me grow up a lot of the time. The basketball aspect and what Jeff's culture in Louisville basketball, it really helps you grow up as a person and prepares you for life. Um, I mean, I think a lot of the time in college, like especially towards my end of my career, I had a little adversity because I had knee injuries. So like just learning how to fight through and mentally be tough and be physical, like that's one thing that like I couldn't take away. And then all the experience I got, like I'm the only person to play in two Final Fours on the women's side. So that's one thing I'm super proud of. And that's just hard work and dedication and not giving up. Because I dealt with so much stuff. I just felt like mentally I was prepared for a lot. And like I always say, that's just the Louisville basketball culture. Like that's what they teach. It's nothing less. And that's why it like helps having a demanding coach because he demands the best out of you.
And speaking of that, man, I'm so glad that a lot of universities take like mental health seriously now because I mean, I don't think fans truly understand sometimes when you giving something your all 24/7 from the time you wake up to weightlifting to training to practice to shots after shots before making sure you rest and stretching how much time that you put into your craft and to be devastated by injury or a setback of some sort like the mental toll that that takes especially on a young kid and
Yeah.
you're just not experiencing that so man that, it can be tough it can be rough I never had any really serious threatening injuries but just from the standpoint of just having some injuries. I couldn't even imagine like a season ending or something that held me out for a long period of time. Just the mental toll that that takes on you. Just kind of thinking that like all of that work that you put in, just kind of like man, just went right out the window.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of kids feel that way. I mean, I had tough break. I'm thinking I'm going top 10 in the draft and I blow out my knee. It's just like life takes you different places, but like I just feel like I was just really mentally tough and prepared to face anything head on. Like I accepted the injury and I just kept going, honestly. But like, today in today's world, mental health is taken so important. And I love that a lot of colleges have, psychologists that the kids can go to. Some colleges even have traveling ones. When I was in school, we had a guy from the Reds, a mental prep guy, and he helped us with mental preparation and how to prepare for a game and how to calm yourself down. And like I think people don't realize the pressure that a lot of these kids are going through because like everything you said, they also have to be a student first, you know? And that takes a toll on you from the travel and everything. And I think a lot of fans don't take that into consideration because these kids aren't trying to not do their best. It just happens sometimes. So I feel like we have to give a little grace. And I'm definitely learning that on the coaching side from just coming from the player side. And I really feel like people really need to take that serious because athletes need to know you're more than a basketball player.
Facts. Facts. Now, once you finish your career at the University of Louisville, you played internationally for 13 years,
10.
10 years,
Mhm.
played all over the world. Talk about some of your favorite places that you experienced. You won multiple championships, multiple MVPs, scoring titles. Talk about some of your favorite places that you played internationally.
Well, I played in 11 different countries. I was one of those players where I even played in the summer. But I mean, one of the places I loved the most was Egypt. I played there for 2.5 years. And it was just like beautiful and historical and just really, really nice. And the Muslim people are really good people. So like it was really nice to be in a family aspect and learn about the culture. And then also like, I feel like I always will have family there. So that's cool too. Um, I think Chile was a really nice place. I played in Israel. I played in Jordan. Puerto Rico was really, really nice.
Mhm.
I've been blessed to play in quite a few countries. There's only a few that I didn't like, and it wasn't necessarily the country. It was just more like the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably say Israel was probably my favorite place. I played there for almost 5 years. And
Every American says that.
yeah, man, and the guy
What
told me,
city?
he said, once you come here, he said, you're not going to want to play anyplace else. And he wasn't lying. He
Yeah,
was
they not lying
not
because once I left, I was like, man, I want to go back.
lying.
What team
Right.
did you play for?
Now I played for Rishon, I played for Hopwell Tel Aviv, and I played for Haifa, and I played for a lot as well.
Okay, yep, I know all them teams. I was real
Yeah.
close to Rajon. I go there all the time. I played for Petah Tikva.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Nice.
was there 2 years.
Yep. And so, yeah, I stayed in the Soho. Anytime I needed something to eat, I needed a good meal. I was in the Soho,
Mhm.
getting a meal. So, and it was cool, man, because my family got a chance to come over and see it as well, just
Yeah.
to kind of experience everything. I think that's probably the best part of playing internationally because if I didn't play in internationally, say I played in the NBA, I probably wouldn't have got a chance to visit a lot of places that I played, and my family wouldn't have either. So, a
Mhm.
lot of memories and a lot of priceless moments, man, of playing overseas, man. So it was pretty cool. So overall, what are your thoughts on like the women's game now? How has it progressed since you played? Well, I mean, not that you just finished playing, but just how has it progressed over the years and from a way that you've seen it now?
Oh, well, first thing first, the NIL is like,
Yeah, yeah.
we played at a time where you could get anything. Everything was a violation. So
Right.
I think that's definitely growing the game. And I love it for them. Like I think that's awesome. Like I wish I could have played at a time where we could have got paid. So I love that for them. Um, I love the way the women's game is going, like the direction is going. Like it's being promoted more, it's being celebrated more, it's being talked about more. And that's awesome. And I mean, the flashiness of the game, the trash talking, like I'm loving it all. And like I mean,
Same,
some days I
same.
just sit and watch basketball all day. So like I love how the women's game is growing and impacting a lot of people because a lot of young girls are trying to play basketball now, and that's even cooler. And like you have people like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, from anybody from any school that's good for the game, and they're really promoting them. And I really love that because I think representation is literally everything. So, and these kids need to see people like themselves making it.
I'll be honest with you. Last year, I probably enjoyed the women's Final Four more than anything.
Yeah, it
Like
was
it was,
nice.
yeah, man, it was great, and just kind of like that rivalry between Van Leith, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese and like the trash talking, and people was like, they shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, man, that as a fan, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, that's good for the
Competitiveness.
game. It's good for
Yeah,
the game.
I love it. Let the ladies trash talk.
Yeah.
I love it. Just competing. Nobody wants to be friends. Everybody wants to win. And I just think that the women's game, like from a pure skill standpoint, man, is just excellent to watch. And you see some of these young ladies now, like it's a lot more ladies dunking the ball just like on a regular
Yeah.
basis now. At first, you had your Lisa Leslie's who would, get up there and do a little light dunk, but now you got Candace Parker's and young lady from uh South Carolina. I mean, just like on the
Mhm.
break, just throwing it
Yeah, I was
down
say I
like it's
seen
nothing.
a girl from Canada in high school just dunking with two hands in the warm ups. She's going to Duke next year. Like it's fun to watch. Like and it's good for the game.
It
That's why
is.
like I'm loving the direction it's going because more people are talking about it and people are excited.
They are. They are. So what made you want to get into coaching?
My senior year when I got hurt, I actually got to sit back and see basketball from a different perspective, and I definitely like wanted to learn more and get my knowledge up. And so like my whole like career overseas, I would coach the young kids or I would help them get to college, do extra workouts. So like I'd watch games, I'd do everything to get my IQ up because like I really saw myself doing it and I liked it. My first year out of college, I was the head coach at Front Creek High School. I decided not to play basketball because I thought I had I guess, a career-ending knee injury, and so, of course, I don't listen, so I go on to play for 10 years, you know? So, I just, I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Now, what's one of the main differences or what's something that you kind of compare when you're coaching and when you playing? What's kind of that difference or what's something that's made you change your approach and how I looked at the game when I play versus how I look at it when I'm coaching?
I have to just realize that I have to coach these kids how they wanna be coached and not how I was coached because it's a new age. These
Right.
kids don't respond, and these kids don't respond the same. And that's not a bad thing, and that's not a bad thing. We were just raised a little different. So like I think me stepping back outside of myself and giving kids more grace and actually listening to them because I think a lot of kids don't feel heard. And of course, you have to coach everybody individually. So like that's what I try to do. I try to give them that coach player perspective, and then also I get it. Like I was tired too. Like I literally just did it. So it's like easy for me to give them a little more grace because I understand. But also it makes it fun because I can get out there and still play with them. So I can show them literally what I want them to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think for me, I was coaching down in Atlanta for a couple of years, and it was different because I knew the game, I could read the game, I knew how to play it, and I was just looking at it from one lens. But when I was coaching, I had to step back and I had to look at it from 12 different lenses.
Hmm.
And I had to see, like, okay, now what is he seeing? What is this player seeing? Why are they not seeing the same thing?
Yeah.
So how do I communicate that with them to make sure that they're seeing the same thing? And so it just kind of made me step back. And one thing I had to learn was I had to broaden up my lens and see it from a wider aspect of focusing on team and
Absolutely.
not just me. And so um that was probably the biggest adjustment for me, but I loved it. I still do love it. I'll probably get back into it at some point, but it's tough. It's fun though, but it's tough. And like you said,
Mhm.
like it's a different age with kids. I think social media has changed a lot. Like I be coaching kids, and the first thing they want to do is they want to go check their mentions, or they're trying to make a highlight tape about something. Yeah, don't matter
Mhm.
if they play 20 minutes or 2 minutes, they're trying to make some type of highlight reel or something. And I think it's good, and I think it can be a gift and a curse with social media. I think
Yeah,
it's great because the kids look forward to it. It makes them happy. But
yeah,
at the same time, you have to be prepared for what's on the receiving end of it too, from fans.
right.
If you're not playing well or things aren't going your way, things that can be said, you have to have some tough skin too. So social media is put another aspect in the coaching as well.
Yeah. I mean, I always think it's good too to promote yourself. And I always tell my kids, like, promote yourself. Like, you never know who might like you or might need you or who you might inspire. So like you said, I feel like it's good and bad. But I mean, if you can focus on your craft, I'm fine with it. If you can't focus on your craft, stay off your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let me ask you this: as a coach now, and as a coaching staff at Bellarmine, are you all shifting more towards focusing on recruits in the portal and dabbing a little bit in high school? Are you still kind of recruiting high school the same way you were before the portal became effective? How has that affected your recruiting style in a way?
I mean, well, we're trying to look for a little mix of everything. But also, I mean, if you're a college coach, you're always looking at the portal.
Mhm.
Like you're always hoping to add another piece. And I think with the portal and with the JUCOs as well, you get that aspect of they already know what they're doing.
Right.
When you're a freshman, I gotta reteach you everything. Well, not reteach you everything, but teach you how I want you to do things. Teach you how the culture is here. And a lot of like transfers, you expect them to be ready and be ready to play. So I feel like that also affects freshmen a lot, and I feel like that affects the freshman scholarships. Not saying we're not recruiting freshmen, but I'm just saying for a lot of schools as well. But the portal is insane. Like I feel like when I went to college, I knew I was staying at college, like at Louisville the whole time.
Right.
And now
Right.
you never know. So it's like you coach these kids year to year. But I mean, if you build good relationships, and I mean, if a kid feels like something's better for them, by all means, go ahead and do what's best for you. Or maybe you want to be close to home. There's all different situations. But I just feel like, the tough me is sticking it out.
I
Yeah.
agree. Finding a
Yeah.
way to overcome adversity. I think that's the part of the portal that I don't like.
Yeah.
I agree, certain situations, a kid should be allowed to transfer. If it's not what I thought it was, you know what? Because it's a major decision in what
Yeah.
college that you choose that
I
can
agree.
really affect the outcome of your future. And so, you know what? I don't think this is what I planned it to be. I like to move back home, go to a school back home, or
Yeah.
my mom is sick, I need to move back home, or
Right.
just certain circumstances that you really understand. But changing school 2 and 3 times just because things aren't going your way. The same problems you face here is you're gonna face someplace else too. So
Or what do you tell a kid that's leaving for more money? Like, what do you know? Like, what do you tell this kid?
that's tough.
Yeah, like,
That's
what do you
tough.
say? Like, what do you say?
You can't really blame them.
Yeah,
I can't. I
yeah,
can't.
I can. That's what I'm saying. I don't fault a kid. That's why it's like, I feel like you make the relationships and you try to do the best you can with these kids, and then that's up to them and their family or whatever. It's only so much you can do, but while they're in your life, even if it's a short amount of time or 4 years, you can still make a positive impact.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this before we get to our last thing of rapid fire questions. What was your approach to the game? And when I ask you that, I'll tell you mine. Like I was a nice guy. I was a good guy. But when I played, I had to go into a mindset to where like I couldn't speak to nobody. I couldn't say nothing to nobody. I had to really psych myself out to where like it was just me. It wasn't anybody else. I don't like people like when I would go out to the half court line for the jump ball, like I wouldn't dap anybody up. I
Mhm.
wouldn't. And just because, and I wouldn't do that, Mo, because it's natural for me to be a nice guy. And so, like, me going and like, hey, man, good game, dapping him up, it kind of takes me out of that natural killer instinct and it puts me back into my natural kind of
Mhm.
friendly mode a little bit. And I didn't want that. So when I went out there, like, I couldn't dap nobody up. I didn't want to look at nobody. Like, if somebody would reach their hand out, I'll just throw my fist, hit it, and keep it moving, staring at what I'm staring at. But like, I had to approach it to like, even my teammates, and I say my teammates because like I was very conscious at first about shooting the ball. Like I would shoot the ball once or 2 times in a row, and then like I might be open the third time. I wouldn't shoot it just because I'm conscious about, damn, I just shot the ball twice already. Whereas if I just kind of get in my own little window, it wouldn't matter how many times I shot the ball. If I'm shooting it 3 or 4 times, and I don't care if somebody say something to me. It is what it is. And like I had to really psych myself out, like going into games when I played, like that was the approach that I had to have for me to be my best. Otherwise, I went into like this kind of friendly or more of a nice guy mode, and I wasn't as effective or I wasn't the killer that I should have been. So
Mhm.
that's what I meant by like approach. Like, what was your approach to the game?
Well, my approach was just like I have like a killer mentality. I just always wanted to be that person on the floor. And I mean, especially in my pro career, I mean, like you, like I don't agree with being friendly before the game. You can dap it up, hug, go hang out, and all that stuff after the game, but I don't agree with being friendly before the game. But like, I mean, as a pro, like I just like every game, I looked at it as I want to always try to be the best player out there. So if that means I gotta score 50 points, then I just gotta score 50 points. But I try to go at everybody. Like
Right.
I play against my best friends, all that. I'm super competitive. I will go right at you. We can be friends afterwards.
That was
And
even worse.
yeah, I mean, and as a pro, I had a chip on my shoulder. Like I didn't go to the WNBA. I had to go overseas. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna show out over here. Like I'm gonna try to be
Mhm.
that person. I'm gonna try to show y'all why y'all didn't pick me. I mean, obviously I had an injury, but like that was my mindset. Like I just wanted to be a killer. Like I'm a pure scorer. And so every game I wanted to be the best scorer.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Now, Mo, we've reached the part of our podcast we call the Burr Proof segment of rapid fire questions. Gonna shoot your question. Don't give it a lot of thought. Just give me your first answer, and we're gonna roll with it.
Okay.
First question: favorite movie?
Ooh, dang. You really threw me off. My favorite movie is uh I don't even know. That's crazy.
What's the
Can
one
it
you
be a
watch on?
cartoon? Can it be
It
a
can be
yeah,
whatever you want to be.
my favorite movie is Goofy movie. A Goofy movie.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Who's the female goat of basketball?
Maya Moore.
Maya Moore. Is there a debate, or is just hands down Maya Moore?
Hands down.
Hands down. Okay.
Hands down.
Mm.
Maybe she didn't have as long as a career as everybody, but if she did, it'd be over.
What she did in her time span was good enough.
Greatness. I mean, she didn't lose a game at UConn, national championship, player of the year. I played against her. I promise you, I could have poked her in the eye and it just still went in. She's a legend. Like she's amazing. Hands down, Maya Moore's the GOAT.
Mm, nice. Best model of Jordan shoe. Which signature number?
Mm, the best model to me is the ones.
Mm.
I
I,
only say that. I only say that because you rock them with anything.
I'm a late bloomer to the ones. I wasn't a fan of the ones at first, but as I kind of started seeing them around a little bit more, with suits, with blazers, jeans and
Yeah,
stuff, I kind of
that's
became a
why I like
fan.
them.
Yes,
I really wasn't on the ones at first, like for real. Like I 11s, threes, fours, like I had a lot of sevens. I'm a Jordan person. I like Jordans. So like I don't know. Once I got older and got into the ones, I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm probably a threes guy though. I'm a big threes guy. That's probably my favorite one.
Concrete threes are mine.
Yeah. Mo Reed, is she the life of the party? Is she a wallflower?
I'm a if it's like a club aspect, I'm a wallflower. But if it's like a social aspect, I can talk to everybody. I can talk to anybody.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like not in the mix, but a little bit in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's a question we call start, bench, and cut. Who you starting? Who you benching? Who you cutting?
Okay.
Asia Wilson, Candace
Mm,
Parker, Lisa Leslie.
mm,
Yeah, that's tough.
ooh.
A lot of young cats don't know about Lisa Leslie.
They don't. They don't. But I'm going to. Is it this are all in their prime, right?
Everybody in their prime.
I'm starting Candace Parker.
Okay.
I'm benching Asia, and I'm cutting Lisa Leslie only because I don't think she can keep up with the speed now. Only because I don't think she can keep up with the speed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Candace Parker is like for real, like she's like top two, not two. Maya Moore is the GOAT, but she right underneath.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Shamika Holtzclaw?
Oh yeah, she's a beast. I grew up watching her. And the one thing good about my dad is he was like, if you want to play women's basketball, you need to watch women's basketball. So like I grew up watching all the old legends. I mean, I when I was younger, Tennessee, UConn, like everybody, like I really grew up a women's basketball fan. That's why I was a ball kid. I couldn't get enough.
Yeah. I actually got a chance to meet her in Israel too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I did. Cool, cool people, man. Cool people. One thing Mo Reed prides herself on.
Family.
Nice. Nice.
I'm big on family, and I mean, I really pride myself on my family because like we're super close. We've always been close. We talk every day. I do anything for them. Like they're literally like my best friends. Like my bridesmaids, they were all my siblings. That's just how we get down. This is how we was raised. I really pride myself on family, and I guess I really pride myself on love because that's what we was raised on.
Nice. Last question. We'll let you got it here. Biggest message that Mo Reed preaches to her players each and every day.
You get out what you put in. And I mean it. I'm talking. If you're missing days, you're not taking care of yourself. It's going to show. No one is good enough just to flick the light switch on and go. You get out what you put in. You want to get better, you got to work, and it's repetition. You can't just do it one day and hope for the best. Like you got to keep it going, and get a little bit better every day.
Couldn't think of a better way to close out the podcast. Mo Reed, Hall of Famer. Appreciate you taking time out to join us on the podcast. Best of luck to you guys in Florida. Safe travels. Appreciate you coming through and blessing us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, already.